In Shakespeare, one other thing we need to talk about, the word creates action. And when we say that, it actually means as soon as the first character begins speaking to the other, all kinds of wonderful things occur. Let's take a look at this opening from Hamlet.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo?
He.
You come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief much thanks. It is bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Okay, good. Now I want to try something. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Most of the castle is sleeping. And you guys are freezing your ass off. I mean, think about, it's the middle of winter. It's just before Christmas. Cold. You don't know what's going to happen. You've already seen a ghost, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And this is shift relief. You're relieving one guy who's taking over the graveyard shift. You're already tense. You're terrified. And if you yell it out, this thing might find you. Also, with the advantage of film, we can be a little more quiet, a little more intimate. So let's play with the idea of you can barely make each other out either. So the pacing and the stakes are good, but now pull it back and see what happens to you if you make it a little more quiet. Now, I don't mean whisper it so much that you can't hear each other, because that's going to suck and nobody's going to hear it. But what I do need you terrified.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo?
He.
You come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief much thanks. It is bitter cold, and I'm sick at heart.
Good. You see how the stakes have changed? What happened for you? How did it feel for you?
It felt more fearful. I was very reluctant to respond, but I had to because not responding might mean something worse.
Well, this guy's going to attack you. Yeah. I mean, the password, there's a great story about, you guys know what a martinet is, yeah? It's somebody who follows the strict code of military discipline to the letter. It was based off of a French colonel, a guy named Martinet. Well, the guy was so rigid with his troops. His rule was, if you don't give the password, your job is to shoot. Well, he comes up to this, he's been gone for several months. He doesn't know the password. He goes up to his own sentry and says, "But you know me." And the sentry says, "Doesn't matter. I only have this password." He tries to get by the sentry and his own sentry shoots him dead. That's a real story from history. But the term martinet is used to describe someone who is overly rigid and not very flexible. And this guy's already scared. You're just getting off shift. The last thing you want to do is end it with a halberd through your guts. And this guy's your relief. This jittery, jumpy guy is going to stand guard for the next 8 hours. Yeah, exactly. Let's give it a shot.
Bernardo?
He.
You come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief much thanks. It is bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Good. You see how it happens? Suddenly the stakes rise that much more. And you still, even with the quietness, you still heard the builds, yes? You still felt them, yeah? This is what happens. Sometimes you don't necessarily, oh God, tangent time. And I'll keep it short, I promise. I hate actors that feel like they have to act this stuff. If you just trust the builds they are in place, you don't have to push. They come naturally. But there are always the actors that just have to ruin it for the rest of us. So, all right, good. Good work, guys. Bring up the next group. So what's the first thing that jumps out at you in this scene?
Lots of open space. Lots of waiting and listening and thinking.
I think so too. I agree with that. And Darren, how does it feel? I would say, think about how it feels to have someone who's obfuscating stupidity by going, what? Who? You know he's smarter than this.
Okay. That's not what I was reading at all. Okay. Good.
And also, this is somebody who you've known a good long time. You were friends at Wittenberg, which was a great theological university, by the way. It was one of the foremost in Europe. And you know that he has a very, very skeptical nature. So, I mean, if we were to stage this modern dress, dude, I saw your father last night. Bullshit. Stop. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's give it a shot.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw. Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king. My father.
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear till I may deliver, upon the witness of these gentlemen to you.
Oh, for God's love, let me hear.
Good. Yeah. So, you see the long pause between saw and who? It's like, I actually want you to let me see your thought processes of, oh my God, do I really have to say this again? It's embarrassing enough that I had to say it the first time.
Okay.
And also, in this court, you don't know who's overhearing you. His behavior towards you, this is something, when I played the role, the guy that played Hamlet and I discovered is mixed signals. Horatio and Hamlet have a very close relationship, but the first thing he says to him is, what make you from Wittenberg? And Greg, the guy that played Hamlet, and I talked about this one night, and we realized that was a cue for me to be aware of that we're being overheard. And we both talked about that. In fact, he even cued me in one night. He did that. He went, what make you from Wittenberg? And I went, okay. So, it was one of those things that happened for you, for the actor. So the fact that he's also being very oddly formal at first is strange. So think about that you're always being overheard.
Okay.
And let her help you with these tactics.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw. Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king. My father.
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear till I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
Good. How did that feel for you? Was that fun?
It was much more tense, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have to say it, but somebody might hear, and that would just sound crazy, and do I really need to...
Let's try one more tactic real quick. Where it's like, you almost have to say it, and then it's like, the king, your father.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we have a camera, we have a mic, you can get away with that.
Okay.
It's like, this is so embarrassing. I'm a scholar, damn it.
Okay.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a scholar, not a ghost hunter. Actually, that was one of the things I loved about him was the parallels between Horatio and Dr. McCoy were really striking to me.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw. Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king. My father.
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear till I may deliver, upon the witness of these gentlemen to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
Good. How did that feel?
Yeah. It was easier to relate to, really, because being embarrassed by it and having to be secretive were kind of odd, but that one felt a lot better.
Well, and then you had to be formal, too. You've had this thee-thou relationship for a long time.
Suddenly I'm using
You.
father.
Yes, and how that trips you up. That's one of the reasons we stopped using thee in our vernacular. I think, honestly, not only that, because the British Empire completely ruined it by, if you ever read Kipling, how they talk to the Indian servants or, the servants of other elements of the empire, they would say, in one of the great stories by Kipling, he always says, "Go thou and bring me my hunting rifle." Suddenly, that relationship isn't there anymore. There's no closeness. It's master to servant, absolutely. But also, it's very confusing because, what Hal says to Falstaff when he's King Henry V now, he says, "I know thee not, old man." He's addressing him as a king to a subject, but what is Falstaff here?
As a friend.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the reason we've dropped it from our everyday language is because it's a trap. It's we already have enough communication problems with English as it is. Let's not add another one. So I think that's part of the reason it got dropped. But really good work, you guys. Thank you.